Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Okay, let's talk about the new Delhi liquor policy. Let's talk about Aadmi Party. Let's talk about Bharatiya Janata Party and let us talk about CBI raids. Let's get right into the show. Okay, so the scam pertains to allegation of corruption in the framing and implementation of Delhi Excise Policy 2021-22. Now, this excise policy paved way for entry of private firms into retail liquor business in Delhi. Now, you know, the Delhi retail liquor business was controlled by the government and according to the 21-22 policy, they opened it up and they gave it to private retailers. Now, why did Aam Aadmi Party think it was necessary to give the liquor license to private retailer? Is that Aam Aadmi Party said that, listen, by doing this, we can raise up to 9,500 crores of revenue annually. Huge revenue. Good idea. But while giving these licenses, while allotting licenses, like it normally happens with any government, any political party, there were corruption charges. There were corruption charges where people say, for instance, CBI claims that a liquor trader paid rupees 1 crore to a company managed by an associate of Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. So Manish Sisodia's associate got 1 crore rupees. So they said, listen, for getting licenses out of turn, these people paid crore, 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, 4 crore rupees. Now, mind you, the total number of licenses that were given away came to around 849. 849 shops were opened across Delhi. 849. So it's quite a big scam. And they say that this is, a lot of these people were, their documents were not complete and the licenses were given without proper procedure. Okay. Aam Aadmi Party says, nahi, kya hai ye? We are being victimized, we are being penalized, CBI has been used unfairly, which is not completely, a new thing. Nobody expected CBI to be used fairly anyways. So they say that CBI is used unfairly and this is not right. Now, let us view this entire thing clinically. By what CBI is claiming, there are incidences, there are instances, there are cases which they'll obviously prove in the court of law where there were holes, there were issues, it can be linked to some kind of a foul play. That is what CBI claims they are doing. Now, this is not the first time that this party was born as a non-corrupt party, fight against corruption, and this party head, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, would call every second businessman a liar. He would call Ambani a liar, Adani a liar. Every second businessman, according to him, was a thief. This particular party, which was born like that, the anti-corruption party, had a lot of issues. In fact, this would be the second minister that has been investigated. Their first minister, that is Satyendra Jain, is already behind bars. He was arrested on the 30th of May by the Enforcement Directorate and it was for a 4.63 crore alleged money received through some company and the majority shareholding of the company belonged to him and his wife and so on and so forth. So the so-called fight against corruption party seems to be having a lot of corruption issues within the party. Now, whether that is right or wrong, the court will prove. It is all accused. Nothing is convicted, nothing is proven. It is all accused, it will be all go to court and finally, once the court gives a judgment, then we can talk whether it has actually happened or all this was a farce. All this was political vendetta. We can decide it then. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is not really to talk about the CBI raid, whether that was right, wrong and all that was not my issue. My issue is, first and foremost is, A party that was born, I'm talking about AAP first, then I will talk about Bharatiya Janata Party. A party that was born, that is AAP, out of, the concept of being non-corrupt. The entire party, the genesis of the party, the DNA of the party was non-corrupt. Hum khayenge nahi. That was the genesis of the party, seems to be breaking. Seems to be having a lot of holes. Seems to be having a lot of, whether it is proven or not proven, but, there are a lot of points that have been raised seem to be looking quite suspicious. So they have a lot of proving to do. They have a lot of explanation to do. That is a fact. And mind you, this party is supposed to be anti-India against corruption party. So that's one end of Arvind Kejriwal and AAP. Though, of course, nothing is being implicated to Arvind Kejriwal. So Arvind Kejriwal is out. It is his party mate. ठीक है. Now let us look at it from a Bharatiya Janata Party's perspective. First is a question that we always asked. It is very good that CBI, ED, everybody is looking at politicians closely, looking at ministers closely, looking at governments closely, trying to arrest ministers, arresting politicians. Very good. Good. Because India will be cleaner. But is that what's really happening? Because if it was to make India clean, then they would find the same kind of corruption in Bharatiya Janata Party run governments too. Karnataka government, the Bharatiya Janata Party Karnataka government seems to be having a lot of allegation of corruption, but nothing, not a single ED raid, CBI, nothing. Karnataka is banned. No, it is a no-go zone for all these investigative agencies. Why? I'm sure if next time another party, Congress and JDU comes in, JDS, that is Janata Dal Secular, if they come in, I'm just giving a hypothetical scenario, if they win the elections and they become chief minister, next day morning, there will be one strike after another. So why is it that the CBI, the ED only looks into states which are not Bharatiya Janata Party governed state? Which is the first question that we need to ask. So end of the day, this is not about cleaning corruption. This looks to be political vendetta. Number one. Number two, you see, it gives a very, very good excuse for a corrupt politician. Now what happens is, even if a party is corrupt, even if the politician is corrupt, he getting arrested by ED, he becomes a hero. He becomes a martyr. It takes us back to 1930s, 1920s, 1900s, when our people would go to jail and the entire society would respect that person as a freedom fighter. So the corrupt person who is going behind bars, when he comes out, he becomes like a freedom fighter. He becomes like a martyr rather than somebody who has committed a crime. Is that right? What are we doing to our legal justice system? While I believe in this particular case, to be very honest with you, I would say that in this particular case, I do agree that there is a lot of explanation that AAP has to do. AAP cannot just say that, अरे गुजरात में देखो ऐसा हो गया, पंजाब में देखो ऐसा हो गया, उसमें देखो ऐसा हो गया, इसमें देखो ऐसा हो गया. AAP cannot just get away by saying that. They have to also prove why are they coming into this entire corruption racket. They need to do that explanation. The party that was generated, that came out of India against corruption, they have a lot of explanation to do, but the fact remains that the way these enforcement agencies are used, the way these people are put behind bars, the way only opposition leaders have been put behind bars, this is raising a lot of questions, and this is not only ensuring that the people who are possibly corrupt, maybe they are genuinely corrupt, now they are accused, they may genuinely be corrupt, but still they will come out as martyrs, as people who are victims. So the point is that we need to be careful of that. The point is we are degenerating our enforcement agencies, and the worst thing is we are putting our democracy at risk. A few days back, Ghulam Nabi Azad, which was expected also, so nothing surprising. A few days back, Ghulam Nabi Azad resigned as the Jammu and Kashmir Campaign Committee Chairman. He resigned from the post. He didn't resign from the party, he resigned from the post. Yesterday, Anand Sharma resigned as the chairperson of the steering committee of Himachal Pradesh Congress. So he too resigned, and both of them said that, listen, they felt out of place. They felt that they were insulted. They felt that they were excluded from Congress. There are rumors that Ashok Chavan in Maharashtra is desperately trying all his possible contacts, all his possible resources to get out of Congress and get into another party. There were rumors that he would join NCP. There were rumors that he would join BJP. Now there are rumors that he could align with the Eknath Shinde faction of Shiva Sena, so on and so forth. How true is that? Not, I don't know, but there are rumors, and factually he is meeting a lot of people. For recently, he met Abdul Sattar of the Eknath Shinde faction of Shiva Sena. This happened recently. Now, the point is, this is the beginning of the end of one of country's oldest parties. What happens if Congress goes? The chances of an AAP coming through as a single largest second party and competing with BJP and all is not possible by the looks of it. Because by the time they come to 2024, one has to see how many people are outside of prison. That is the first thing we'll have to see. Second thing is, I do not think that a single person leadership here is Arvind Kejriwal leadership. One-man leadership can make this happen for the country. Arvind Kejriwal versus PM Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi is too big a brand for Arvind Kejriwal to contest. So that won't happen. And AAP also is too small a brand in front of a Bharatiya Janata Party. So somewhere down the line, a national party like Congress is imperative. And if there is no national party like Congress, then you have a problem. Mamata Banerjee, again, when we spoke about Mamata Banerjee, while she was getting popular and she was getting very, very popular, not just in the north of India, but she was also getting popular in some parts of south of India because she was a senior leader. India has seen her for a long, long time. People have known her for a long, long time. But yet, somewhere down the line, even Trinamool Congress seems to be fizzling out as far as being a national party is concerned. So again, the only option, look at it from any perspective, the only option again in front of India is Congress, and Congress seems to be completely going haywire. Now, the logic here is Congress needs a new leader. A lot of people too feel the need that they need to get rid of Gandhis. My personal view may be different, but a lot of people do think that they need to get rid of Gandhis. So I think in the interest of the country and the fact that to save this country from having a single party democracy, wherein you only have BJP and that's it, single party democracy, Gandhis needs to ensure that they, at some point in time at least, take the back seat and have another leadership running Congress. It's high time that they start thinking about the party over their own self. It's high time they start doing it. I think it's the faster they do it, the better it is for Congress. And as far as BJP is concerned, like I said this yesterday, I think the fact that their vision and their foresight is so strong. You see, what really happens in politics is when a party grows and when a party becomes formidable, where nothing can harm the party, then the party gets competition from within. Indira Gandhi became a formidable force. The competition came as Morarji Desai from within. Of course, there was Jayaprakash Narayan too, but Morarji Desai was the person who became the next Prime Minister, defeating Indira Gandhi. Same is the case with Rajiv Gandhi, formidable with almost complete monopoly in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, came VP Singh from within the Congress. He was not an outsider. Within the Congress started Janata Dal, and here you are. He became the Prime Minister for a short period, whatever, but all the same. So the competition normally comes from within, and that competition, BJP nipped it from the bud. And that was what you saw happen to Nitin Gadkari and what you saw happen to Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Nitin Gadkari for sure, because Nitin Gadkari in 2014 had made statements, and even currently he was making some statements which are not very, which gave a hint that he was a challenger. He could be a challenger to Narendra Modi. So that was nipped out of the bud. And of course, Shivraj Singh Chauhan was seen at one point in time as a challenger to a possible prime ministerial candidate for Bharatiya Janata Party. And he too, possibly as part of collateral damage, but he too was pulled out of the parliamentary board. So that's what the politics of India looks like. So till I meet you next time, that's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Namaskar.